Hare Krishna. So today we shall be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 11th sloka. Three aspects of absolute truth. Three aspects of absolute truth. We shall be discussing the very famous sloka, as you know. Vadanti tat tattvidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. Okay. So before we start, we have a small little kirtan. If everything is okay, please respond in the chat box, or please unmute yourself and tell that everything is okay. And then we'll go ahead. So, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana, Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana, Yamuna Tira Banachari, Yamuna Tira Banachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Shayam Rupa Kalamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathan Mitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Destarine Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Japatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So I'm quite very happy to see you all here in front of camera. Hare Bol. So welcome back for today's morning program, morning class. So hopefully Srimad Bhagavatam, the book Srimad Bhagavatam is there in front of you. And still we can have our screens here. So Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, text 11. So 1 to 11, we shall be discussing that. So I am sharing my screen. Just wait a minute. So this is the sloka. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. So I think you are able to see this particular sloka as well as this synonyms and translation in there. This is one of the very famous sloka, which is actually giving complete understanding of absolute truth. And it's actually resolving all those fights between impersonalist, and yogis. Okay. So there are usually two types of people found, personalist and impersonalist. So this is the solution, and this is the melting point, melting words of all those different philosophers and the transcendentalists. Very, very famous sloka. Srila Prabhupada quotes this many times. It will be very nice if you could have, remember it. So we can recite together this once, like Vadanti tattvavidas
Vadanti tattvavidas
yajnanam advayam
tattvam yajnana advayam
brahmeti paramatmeti
brahmeti paramatmeti
bhagavan iti shabdate.
bhagavan iti sabdate.
So let us go to the translation. Okay. Learned transcendentalist who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. Okay. This is non-dual substance, Advaitam. So purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The absolute truth is both subject and object, and there is no qualitative difference there. Therefore, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan are qualitatively one and the same. The same substance is realized as impersonal Brahman by the students of Upanishads, as localized Paramatma by the Hiranya Garbhas or the yogis, and as Bhagavan by the devotees. In other words, Bhagavan or the personality of Godhead is the last word of the absolute truth. Paramatma is the partial representation of the personality of Godhead, and impersonal Brahman is the glowing effulgence of the personality of Godhead. As the sun rays are to the sun god. Less intelligent students of either of the above schools sometimes argue in favor of their own respective realization. But those who are perfect seers of the absolute truth know well that the above three features of the absolute truth are different perspective views seen from a different angle of vision. Okay, so this is the uh, very important particular sentence we can see here. As it is plain in first sloka of the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, the supreme truth is self-sufficient, cognizant, and free from the illusion of relativity. In the relative world, the knower is different from the known, but in the absolute truth, both the knower and the known are one and the same thing. In the relative world, the knower is the living spirit or the superior energy, where the known is inert matter or inferior energy. Therefore, there is a duality of inferior and superior energy. Whereas in the absolute realm, both the knower and the known are the same superior energy. There are three kinds of energies of the supreme energetic. There is no difference between energy and energetic, but there is a difference of quality of energy. So there are three kinds of energies of the supreme energetic. Now we know this, or three kinds of energy. One is external energy, marginal energy, and internal energy, right? So there is no difference between energy and energy, but there is a difference of quality of energy. So this is about a relative world in which we are living. So here Slokapa says the absolute realm and the living entities are of the same superior energy. But the material world is inferior energy. The living being in contact with the inferior energy is illusion, thinking he belongs to the inferior energy. Therefore, there is a sense of relativity in the material world. In the absolute, there is no such sense of difference between the knower and the known, and therefore everything there is absolute. Thus ends the translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, on verse 1 to 11. First canto, second chapter, 11th sloka. So, this is the sloka. Here we can see that there are different types of transcendentalists, as mentioned. Types of transcendentalists. What are the basically three types of transcendentalists mentioned, right? First is called Gyan Yogis. Second one is called Dhyan Yogis, and third one is called Bhakti Yogis. So these are all yogis. So congratulate you all. Whether you know or not, you are also yogi. I don't know whether you believe it or not. So now Indian politics, there is also one yogi. But the real yogi means the person who actually is supposed to connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is different these features. Okay. So they are called yogis. So everything in the world is having the different features. I am going to say the three features. Absolute truth is having three features, and everything is having three features. Everything is having three features. Like the example, like air. If you take to be air, हवा. अगर हवा को लेते हैं, तो हवा को अगर बोला जाए तो ये पर्सनल है कि इम्पर्सनल है? Now it's upon you. Air is a personal or impersonal thing? What is this? Now you can tell yourself. Air is personal or impersonal? Abhijit Prabhu? Yes. What is air? Air is a personal thing or impersonal thing? You can.
It is both personal and impersonal, because Vayu there is a personal feature of air.
Yes, correct. Very correct. Yeah, correct. So you are correct, Prabhu. The Vayu, the air is personal as well as impersonal. Means because everybody, everything to control, there is a person behind. And that is actually personification of that particular thing. And there is impersonal aspect of that thing also, where that particular person is having influence of. Like, so everything is personal and everything is impersonal. Similarly, absolute truth is also person, and absolute truth is also impersonal. So Srila Prabhupada tells that in absolute world that there are knower and the known, both are same thing. Knower and the known, there is only one thing, that is Advaya. Means they are non-dual. So who is the knower? In one sense, who is the knower? Knower is who? Knower is Krishna, right? Knower is Krishna. But in absolute world, everything is actually nothing but Satchidananda. Everything is Satchidananda. There is nothing called in the spiritual world like matter, or there is nothing asat, asit, achit, nirananda. Everything is sat, chit, or ananda. Everything is conscious being. Everything is soul actually. Everything is soul. So in that sense, what is there? Supreme Personality of Godhead is internal energy. Actually, he himself is seeing, knowing by his own self. So everything is known and the knower is the same. So actually, this is the absolute nature of the Supreme Personality. In material world also we see, for us, we have matter and we have the spirit soul. But for Krishna, for the Supreme Lord, matter and spirit soul is same. He can change the matter into spirit, he can change spirit into matter. But for us living entities, there is a distinction. As Krishna has told already in Bhagavad Gita, there are three types of energies: marginal, external, and internal energies. So marginal energy means dead matter, which is manifestation of Mahat Tattva. And then there is internal energy, means energy which is working directly in the spiritual world. And marginal means the fractions or fragments of internal energy, spiritual world, those who are loitering here in this material world. जो इधर घूम रहे हैं, अपने आप को डेड मैटर समझ के घूम रहे हैं, वो कौन है? वो हम ही लोग हैं, आप बैठे हुए हैं. So we are all actually internal part of internal energy, but we are actually having got somehow marginated from spiritual world, and we are roaming around in this material world. So these things for Krishna, for the absolute truth, for the absolute sense, there is no difference. But for in material world, actually there is difference. There is difference between them. So now I will share with you this mind map, and we'll go a little more in detail. Before I start sharing this, I will have a small little invocation prayer also. Mukam karoti vachalam pangolangayatengrim yat kripatam ham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramanandam Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 11. So, but ultimate Srila Prabhupada says that we have to reach to the point of Bhagwan realization, because this Bhagwan realization is the topmost realization, because where you can know everything correctly, you know the whole feature of absolute truth. So here, you know, absolute truth, you are able to see this is absolute truth. Krishna is the absolute truth. So when someone comes to the Bhagwan realization, the personal realization, that is actually ultimate realization. So Prabhupada gives this example, जैसे ट्रेन से अगर दूर से जाते हैं तो कभी कभार ना दूर में पहाड़ दिखाई देता है, दूर से पहाड़ दिखाई देता है, और जब पहाड़ से मतलब दूर से देखते हैं तो लगता है कि वो क्या है, वो क्लाउड है, क्लाउड जैसा दिखता है दूर से, लेकिन पास जाते हैं तो लगता है कि नहीं, देयर इज समथिंग लाइक हिल. तो दूर पास जाते हैं तो बहुत बड़ा पहाड़ दिखता है, पूरा ब्लूइश दिखता है, और उसके पास जाते हैं तो क्या दिखता है, थोड़ा और भी वैरायटी दिखता है, घर दिखता है, वहां पे कुछ लगता है कि धुआं भी आ रहा है, तो घर में आग भी जल रहा होगा. और पास में जाते हैं तो हम लोग देख पाते हैं कि घर के पास में कोई घूम रहा है, कोई बकरियां चरा रहा है, कोई गाय लेके घूम रहा है, कुछ आदमी दिख रहे हैं। तो और भी ज्यादा ज्यादा वैरायटी और पर्सनल मैनिफेस्टेशन, पर्सनल रियलाइजेशन होता है वहां पे। अगर कोई ट्रेन से उतर के घर पे जाएगा तो वहां पे कुछ लोगों से बात भी कर सकता है। सो उसी तरीके से एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ जो है, दूर से अगर देखते हैं तो दूर से देखने से क्या लगता है, पूरा इम्पर्सनल लगता है, सब कुछ इम्पर्सनल है। तो डिवोटीज का जो लाइफ है वो भी पर्सनल से इम्पर्सनल की तरफ जाना है। We all are in, like somehow or other, we are not full personalists. We are actually also a, a fraction of impersonalism is there. One devotee was telling that even devotees, those are practicing devotees, they are also having some type of, that's called anartha, or some type of contamination of impersonalism. So the complete personalism is complete pure love of Godhead, in which you see Krishna as the person, as a person with emotion, as a person like with whom you can love, you can share your thoughts, you can pray to him, you can talk to him, you can, like, there is no impersonalism. Like suppose we do deity worship, and in deity worship, most of the time we feel like, okay, anyway, Krishna, maybe he may not be here. He is there in the photo form, but he might not be here. So this type of conception is nothing but the contamination of impersonalism. And slowly, when one advances in Krishna consciousness, the impersonalism slowly go away, and the real personalism comes. Real personalism comes when the relation between devotees and Krishna becomes more and more personal. So the similar example Srila Prabhupada gives here, sunshine and the sun globe. I think everybody of you know this famous example of Srila Prabhupada. Sun globe, and here one more thing is missing, I just write down. Sun God, right? Sun God. So sunshine, oh yes, the sun sign is impersonal, sun globe is little personal. I'm to say this is like Paramatma, and sun god is sun god, is not supreme god. So I'm writing sun god. So he is actually the personal feature of the sun, same sun. So Srila Prabhupada writes, tells in his one of the lecture of this sloka, Evam vivasvate yogam praktavan idam avvam. Everything is personal. The Lord Krishna has given this knowledge to Vivaswan lakhs of years before, and that person name is Vivaswan. So Krishna knows it very well. We might not be knowing, but Krishna knows it very well. So actually, there is a process for all these realizations. There is process. Most of the 96% people is actually what is called, they are simply workers, heavy workers, thinking that by working we will be happy, and just after death everything is going to get over, finished, सब कुछ खत्म होने वाला है, तो जीने के हैं 4 दिन, खट लो, जितना भी खट के भोग करना है भोग कर लो, उसके बाद तो कुछ बचा नहीं है। तो ऐसे अक्सर ज्यादा मतलब कि 94-95% ऐसे ही हैं। तो उनमें से बहुत सारे, बहुत कम लोगों को बुद्धि खुलती है कि यार खटते तो जा रहे हैं लेकिन मजा नहीं है लाइफ में। तो वो क्या करते हैं, दे डू निर्विकार ब्रह्म अनुसंधान, मीन्स दे गो फॉर conception of God which is supreme powerful, supremely expanded everywhere, and then they think themselves to be something beyond than this body, and then they start thinking themselves to be Brahman or Atma. So that is called Brahman realization. Brahman realization means to understand there is something beyond this matter, there is supreme energy, there is supreme power, which is actually controlling and maintaining everything. So to realize that feature of absolute truth, Brahman, the process is by Jnana Yoga. है ना? This is the Jnana Yoga. The process is to realize by Jnana Yoga, and most of the Upanishads are actually dealing with this. 108 Upanishads we have. Most of the Upanishads actually deal with realizing absolute truth through Jnana. I want to say the impersonal aspect of absolute truth. Impersonal aspect of absolute truth. Because Srila Prabhupada says, अगर तुरंत उसको बोल देंगे कि अरे absolute truth is person, just do bhakti, then he will actually start क्या उसको he will actually start no क्या बोलते हैं उसको he will not be able to accept it at first hand because he had very bitter experience with personal relationships. Personal relationship बहुत सारा problem हुआ तो he cannot digest that supreme absolute truth could also be person. So for them, okay, that's okay, fine, okay, absolute truth is impersonal. And then there comes Paramatma. So Paramatma realization is realization by Ashtanga Yoga system. Ashtanga Yoga system is the Paramatma realization in which people actually they try to meditate Paramatma, the personal, plenary personal feature of the absolute truth. When I was in 11th standard, 12th standard, I used to go early morning into nearby peaceful, calm place. And in Padmasana, in lotus posture, I start meditating upon Paramatma, thinking that no, Chaturbhuj Vishnu form is there in my heart. And I used to meditate, I used to think that now in one hand there is counsel, there is one hand there is chakra, there is one hand there is lotus flower, the other hand there is gada. So like this, and Supreme Lord Narayana is standing, and all of a sudden what is to I used to see that after assembling mentally these all things, immediately my Narayana, concepted Narayana in the heart used to fall down, and one hand used to get dissipated, or one hand is coming down. So it was very much disgusting for me. I thought that how Narayana is falling down in my heart. Oh, this is not good. So this is called the transition from a Paramatma feature to God realization, the Bhagwan realization, in which one starts feeling something for the God. Something, a feeling of like, no, how God can fall down. Or I mean to say, how, no, God is God. I want to serve Him in a better way. So first is called Brahman realization, in which there is no feeling. There is no feeling. Yes, and most of the people, different religious sects, they say God, अरे भगवान का रूप नहीं है, भगवान का फॉर्म नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. क्यों बोलते हैं फॉर्म नहीं है? क्योंकि अगर फॉर्म हो जाएगा तो उनके साथ कुछ लेन देन करना पड़ेगा, है ना, उनको सेवा करना पड़ेगा. अरे इसलिए तो क्या करना है? अरे भगवान, हमारे भगवान को फॉर्म नहीं है, तुम लोग बेवकूफ हो, है ना, तुम लोग बेवकूफ हो, तुम लोग भगवान का फॉर्म बना दिया जबरदस्ती का, मनगढ़ंत. हमारे भगवान का फॉर्म नहीं है. कितना कूल है हमारा भगवान और हमारा धर्म, कुछ करने धरने का नहीं है, सुबह उठ के सिगरेट पी लो, हाँ, सब कुछ ब्राह्मण है, सिगरेट भी ब्राह्मण है, हम भी ब्राह्मण है, और धुआं भी ब्राह्मण है, और आकाश भी ब्राह्मण है. तो सब ब्राह्मण का ब्राह्मण में विलीन कर रहे हैं हम लोग बैठ के इधर. तो इस तरह का फिलॉसफी देते हैं. क्यों? बिकॉज दे हैव नॉट एक्चुअली कम टू दैट लेवल. सो ब्राह्मण, आफ्टर दैट परमात्मा. And now because in this age of Kali Yuga, nobody can go to jungle and start meditating. I tried also in my 12th standard. I was trying to meditate upon that, but somehow it didn't work. And by great mercy of that same Paramatma, I came in college and I met with the devotees and I could understand, okay, now get to, everything is now clear. Now Bhagwan is Bhagwan and I should do bhakti. So Paramatma feature is the feature in which yogis used to do meditation, and there are many yogis still found, but this process is very, very tedious. This Brahman realization, Paramatma, is very tedious. Then comes Bhagwan realization, process to realize by Dhyan Yoga. And sorry, this is Bhagwan realization. The process is here, realize by devotional service. Process to realize by devotional service in Bhagwan. Then comes Narayana. Devotional service matlab active devotional service. Then you have to do something with the Lord. Then there is Narayana. And in Narayana also there are different features. Rama. So Narayana, when we start, Narayana realization happens in Santa and Dasya Bahula Bhakti. Santa and Dasya. So in devotional service, there are different features of doing devotional service. Santa Bhav Bhakti. Santa Bhav Bhakti matlab kya? Okay, like in base or in temple, newcomer comes, and newcomer coming and he's seeing the deity and he's seeing like this. Oh, so nice. Nice decoration. Oh, nice deity. Nice Krishna's girlfriend. So he simply appreciates. So this is called Santa Bhav. This is called Santa Bhakti. Just by seeing the Lord, he started doing devotional service. But that devotional service is which according to Bhakti Rasamrita, this is called Santaras. इसको बोलते हैं सांतरस. शांत है. शांत आएगा, शांत चला जाएगा. कोई सेवा नहीं करेगा. Then sometimes if he comes to base, sometimes he comes to temple, and devotee tells him that, Prabhu, can you do this? Can you take this vegetable and put it there in the washing area? So then there starts what called Dasya Bhakti. Devotional service. Devotional service, it starts then when we start doing active devotional service, understanding that this is actually going to please the Lord. So this is called Dasya Bhakti. So in Narayana, most of the devotional services to Narayana realization is Santa and Dasya Bahula Bhakti. Santa and Dasya. Then again we'll go ahead. This is actually the progress or ascending progress of realizing absolute truth. They all are absolute truth. This is also 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 absolute truth. But the difference is what? What is the difference? What is the difference between them? I want you to just write down anything. What is the difference between these all different features of absolute truth?
Different understanding. The thing is same, but understanding is different. Like there is partial understanding, there is absolute understanding.
Yeah,
Same thing.
all are absolute. These all are absolute. These all are absolute. So, of course, understanding and intimacy. Intimacy is one thing. More we go ahead, more it becomes personal. More it becomes intimate. So here Rama comes. Rama, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya. These three intimate understanding of Supreme Personality of God, Supreme Absolute Truth, is actually shown in Rama, Lord Ramachandra. Then we comes little more ahead, then comes Krishna. Then Krishna is having full, all those rasas, all those intimacies is actually realized and can be reciprocated with Krishna, all different types of intimacies. So what are they? Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. With all different intimacies is actually realized with Krishna. And among Krishnas also there are different places. Vrindavan, Dwarka, Mathura and Vrindavan. So Dwarka, Mathura and Vrindavan. In this also there is a hierarchy. Mathura, Dwarka, of course, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya is there, but this is even more intimate, and this is even more better understanding. That is called Vrindavan Krishna understanding. And the process of coming here is what? What is the process to coming here? is mentioned over here. Harinam Sankirtan, empowered by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.
Yeah.
So, can you imagine like where we are actually aiming to, and where actually we belong to? We belong to the most powerful and most intimate process to realize the absolute truth. That's called Harinam Sankirtana, in which you have access to these all things. You can have the three types of realization, Santa. You could have the Dasya Bhav of Raktak Patrak, who were there actually the servants of Krishna. And then there are friends of Krishna like Subal, Siddham. Then there are parental servants. I mean, it's a parental devotees of Krishna in Vrindavan, Yashoda, Nanda Baba. And there on the top of them is here, gopis. Top of them. So this is actually being given by whom? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says, Anarpitam charim chirat karunaya avatirna kalau samarpaitum unnat ujjwal rasa Sri Bhakti Shriyam Hari Purat Sundar Duti Kadamba Sandipitah Mama Hridaya Kandare Sphuratau Yah Sachinandana. So he's telling that what has never given the understanding of absolute truth, that understanding and that access code is actually being given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That access code is being given to us, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What? उन्नत उज्ज्वल रस, सबसे उन्नत उज्ज्वल रस जो कभी किसी को दिया नहीं गया, अनर्पितम कभी नहीं अर्पित किया गया, वो हम लोग को दिया जा रहा है. So isn't it amazing thing we are actually seeing, or we are actually have access to? Amazing, the most amazing thing. So that's what is actually the glory of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving has never given ever in the whole history of the world. That is the love of Vrindavan. And in that also the top of the top, that is called Ramya Kachid Upasana Brajavadhu Vargena Yah Kalpitaha. This Madhurya forms of intimacy, the topmost intimacy with absolute truth. So neither Brahman, nor Paramatma, nor Bhagwan, nor Narayan, nor Ram, nor Krishna. In Krishna also, nowhere in Mathura, Dwarka, in Vrindavan, then neither trees, nor all the way this gopis. So this is actually being given by Supreme Personality of Godhead coming in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and which is actually possible by Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare. Srila Prabhupada is actually telling in his lecture upon this sloka, he's telling that just chant the holy name Hare Krishna Mahamantra with great adherence, with great service attitude, serving in the mood of actually chanting in the mood of serving the holy name, which is actually given to us by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is actually the topmost secret for the achieving or realizing the topmost relationship of intimate relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of Supreme Absolute Truth. Okay, so we shall stop here. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. If you have anything to discuss, you can unmute yourself. I hope you are already unmuted, and you can go ahead with your question. Any comment you have, you can ask. Okay, so let's stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki.